I'm on the phone with Chris. Chris is one of our team builders. He's built himself a pretty good team, and rightfully so, because he knows what it is to get out there and work hard. I talked with him yesterday, and he's already got a pretty good week going. You can talk about that. But I want to say that the very first week that Chris was licensed, his first full week in the field, he had $16,953.96 of first-year premium. That's AP. I mean, that's even hard for me to imagine. Even when policies fall off the books, you're still going to make over $10,000 of commission. Chris, how'd you have almost $17,000 of AP your first week in the business?
Well, Don, it was very hard work, but there was a lot more that went into it than that. One of the things that we teach at Howe Insurance Services, and one of the things that I was very, very happy to soak up, is preparation and training. So first and foremost, the training was absolutely vital. Naturally, we have to be teachable because we have to be able to accept that training and try to get as much of it as we can. But once that initial training was done and I was ready to hit the field, the other key ingredient was leads. You have to have people to see. And we have such a great lead program here that when we order the leads, we know as long as we set things up the way we should, we're going to have the results that we want because we're going to have what we need to work with. So I spent quite a lot of time on the phone. I actually scheduled up my week. What I did that particular week, I called Sunday, and I called quite long. And when I went out, every day that I went out, the moment I hit my goal for the day, which my initial goal when I started out was to write a $10,000 week. But once I was 3 days in and I had already written $10,000, I had to kind of readjust my goal. You only have one first week. Every time I would hit my goal for the day, I would make a couple of phone calls to the people that I had booked later in the day and reschedule them for the next day or the next day if I could. Then I'd run home. I was working about an hour from home where I was working. When I got home, I got on the phone and I scheduled up even more. And I did that day after day, actually. It's not the schedule I worked today, but it's the schedule I worked that week that allowed me to get in front of people. So I wasn't chasing bunny trails. I was showing up to qualified prospects to where I was not wasting my time. I did hear no, but I heard a whole lot of yeses. When you write that much business in a week, you do see a lot of money hit your account. It is a very motivating and exciting thing to check an account and notice that you've had $13,000 deposited. So that motivated me. And this week, I'm sitting at $6,438, and that is on 2 days in the field so far. But I did that again because last week was a holiday week, so I actually didn't really put in a full week. So I wanted to hit it hard, so I spent the time on the phone. I had the lead cards to do it, which, again, you have to have prospects to see. And once I got on the phone, I committed that I was going to have a certain number of appointments. In the midst of the day, I spoke with a few agents that I'm training and a couple of them that are just getting going. And the last one that I talked to, I hung up the phone at 8:20 and said, hey, got to get off here. I got to get a few more appointments. And I booked 4 appointments after I hung up the phone with him. I quit calling at 9. Don't be afraid to spend time on the phone, even if it means you are working later than you would figure. It's summertime. It's light out. People are not upset that you call them at 8:30. So I got 4 appointments after I talked with him. One of my appointments that I got from that was a $2,800 annual premium with a husband and wife. Had I not spent that extra time, I would be at closer to $4,000.
Well, Chris, that's fantastic. It is Wednesday morning, and that means you went out Monday and Tuesday, had your 64-38 so far. Now, I know you're building a team at this time, so there's no way for you to even know what a normal schedule looks like at this moment, because when you're building, it's almost like, I don't know where I'm coming or going. But do me a favor. Before you started building a team, once you were sort of settled in working here, you've worked here for 6 months, a year, whatever it takes, what did your normal schedule look like then? And we'll wrap it up with that.
Okay, well, I've worked several different schedules. I'll give you the most normal one that I've ever done, but it is still slightly abnormal. The second year I was in the business, the springtime, I play golf and I enjoy it, and I decided that I wanted to play golf a lot that year. So what I did at that time is I scheduled my appointments, but I scheduled them later in the day. From what I've seen, I've always written more business in the afternoon than I have in the morning. So if I'm going to shift my day in one direction, it will always be to work later and start slightly later. After I was in for a year and I knew what I was doing, I would schedule up my days to where still make calls on Sunday and then work Monday, Tuesday, schedule Thursday on Wednesday. So Wednesday afternoon I would schedule my Thursday. But what I would do is I would go out and play 9 to 18 holes of golf in the morning. And as it happens, the clothes that I wear to play golf are typically what I sell in. So I would go from the golf course to work. And that was a very casual setup. The beautiful thing is once you learn the system, you have the opportunity to decide what type of schedule you work. I know some people after they've been here for a while will choose to take Sunday and use that as a family day or a day of rest. And then Monday, they'll make calls for Tuesday. Maybe Wednesday, they'll make calls for Thursday if they can put up the numbers that they want with those 2 days. But that is the most beautiful thing about it. We actually do control our schedule. So depending upon what you want to do, if you want to take time off, to celebrate a birthday, if you want to go on a spontaneous vacation at the end of a really good month, you don't have to call and ask for permission. You can do it. So that is one of the things that I love about this, is that we literally do get to control what we do.
Do you have anything you'd like to say to wrap it up? This is a great phone interview.
Yeah, one last thing. If you are considering coming to Howe Insurance Services, be willing to work the system and be willing to be teachable. There is so much that you can get from all the other agents because it is a family atmosphere. We share our tips. We share techniques. Other agents are more than willing to help you see the success that you want.
I will just finish it up by saying this. Our agents understand that all of us put together are much smarter than any one of us by themselves. And we have an agent hotline that agents call in and give sales tips. We've had over 1,000 sales tips shared on our agent hotline. And we have that audio available for our agents. We have so much good information that if a person comes to work with us and doesn't succeed, it's because they're incompetent, they don't work hard, or they're just not teachable. Chris, thank you very much for sharing with us. I hope you go out and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you for your interest in Howe Insurance Services. For additional audio and video recordings, please visit howtosellfinalexpense.com.